Hello and welcome to the Granstrom podcast, Super Soul Model Series, where I help you tune and tap in to your natural state of well-being. In this episode, I want to share with you the 4 disciplines to help you increase your life force. If you're new to the show, please consider liking, subscribing and sharing if you enjoy this content and you enjoy the message. And if you're returning and you haven't already, please consider going to Apple or wherever you listen to this and leaving a review, because your reviews help this get out to more and more people. So, the 4 disciplines to be able to increase your life force, what are they? Well, first we need to understand what your life force is. The life force is the energy that governs the cosmos, governs the stars, governs the planet, governs your own physical form, your own body. It pumps the blood through your heart and through the arteries and helps you grow skin and repair it when you've had a little cut. Everything that this force does grows stronger when you begin practicing these 4 disciplines. Now, your life's goal, whether you know it or not, is to actually enhance this life force within you, within your physical form. And this force or life force is heightened energy. And if you can see it in this way, you will understand a little bit more clearly that it's just really energy, and energy needs a conduit or a channel in which to travel. And in your physical form, it's your body. You're able to express your spirit and your soul in your physical form. That's what you've been imbued with in this lifetime. And your life goal is to expand this energy, expand this life force. And the more energy you're able to hold, the better you'll feel, hence the word fulfillment. And Stuart Wilde says it best, the spiritual teacher. He says the force within you wants you to be able to increase this level of energy so that you can perceive beyond what you're currently perceiving. And the best way to really describe it in modern day terms is you can see yourself as the Wi-Fi router, and the old version would be the dial-up broadband and the new version of the fibre optic cable. Now, the energy travels a lot faster and a lot more smoother through the fibre optic cable rather than the dial-up. And very much like also when you take your phone and you upgrade it for a new one, you have more software to play with. And that's the same when you expand your life force, and you do it through practicing these 4 disciplines. So what are the 4 disciplines? The 4 disciplines are physical, nutritional, emotional, and balance. So if you mention the word discipline, like these 4 disciplines, to your subconscious mind, it will literally run a million miles and freak out, because really your subconscious mind just wants to keep you safe and secure and at a base level. And the only way you can overcome your subconscious mind is by having higher energy, by having more life force, by raising your vibration. So you have to become a master of yourself with these 4 disciplines so you can bypass the subconscious mind and you can allow yourself to exist on a different frequency so you can begin to perceive beyond what is. Because your subconscious mind has all the programs and beliefs already put in there by the time you're about 10 years old. So if you want to bypass your subconscious minds, break the old patterns and enjoy a life beyond what you ever thought was possible, what you actually really need to do is have higher energy, because everything that you want requires more energy. Making more money requires energy. Having a successful business requires more energy. Having a family, looking after kids, that requires more energy. And everything is energy. And as soon as you start to fine-tune your energy to higher levels, you're going to be able to be right on the quest of enjoying a life of happiness, health and harmony, tapping into this natural high. The key is to have discipline. And so once you've got your disciplines in place, everything begins to click into place. So the first discipline is physical discipline. And what's required from this discipline is that you learn about your body. You learn about what it needs. You learn how to look after it. You learn how to take responsibility. You learn how to cherish it. You learn how to rest it. You learn what to give it. All of these things require discipline and mastery and acquiring knowledge. Now, your body is a gift. It's a gift from your parents, and it houses your spirit. And your spirit is able to flourish, and when you feel happy and bright and you're loving life, it's because your spirit's happy in your body. And so that is a good sign that what you're doing right now is working. But when you feel low, that is a sign that maybe you need to take real good care of your physical form. As soon as you start taking care of your body, you feel lighter, you feel more free. I'll never forget that my dad used to take the mickey out of me at the table saying, "What's James doing?" "Oh, he's purifying his body because he's changed his diet and he's doing all this exercise now." And whilst it was a joke, it was actually really true. He couldn't have said anything more true, because that's exactly what I was doing. I was doing everything against the grain of what I knew in my family and what I knew growing up. I was learning and applying, and I was testing it out, and I was noticing how much better I feel in the face of potential mockery from my family. And it all worked out, and it all worked out because when I began to honour myself, that's when respect and admiration for doing things differently was eventually given. And not that I needed it, I just wanted to do it for myself, for my own peace of mind. The point is you've got to learn and apply what you've learned so that you acquire more life force and more energy. So the path to having physical discipline is just by picking one area that really speaks to you, and maybe it's meditation, maybe it's yoga, maybe it's nutrition, maybe it's intermittent fasting. But whatever it is, just pick one that really works for you and just really go for it. Do something about it every single day. Work towards it every day, because mastery comes from daily discipline. And for me, having sincerity is so important to increase your life force, to become the best version of yourself. And what I noticed is that I really wanted to have a long, happy and healthy life and be the best I could be. And I knew it wasn't going to be having loads of toxicity in my life. And so I had to break that cycle and do something different. And this is what is known as the warrior's path. And if you follow it and you follow yourself and you really teach yourself and you learn everything you can, and then you apply it, you can have more physical energy. Because when you learn and apply, you get wisdom. I have to say, as long as I can remember, I've never really been short of physical energy since I've been applying this and learning about the body. So if I can do it, you can do it. So number 2, the next discipline is nutritional discipline. They're all interlinked, these disciplines. You've got to really adopt good eating habits. Nothing's really going to improve or increase your frequency quicker than the foods you begin to ingest and absorb. Foods are either high in frequency or low in frequency, and it's so interesting that when you don't feel great, you always reach for foods that aren't high in frequency, aren't high in vibration. You normally pick foods that are processed or refined foods. It's very difficult for you to want to reach or grab an apple when you don't feel great, or grab a banana, or grab a carrot, or grab a stick of celery. It's just kind of not what you want to do. But when you start to develop a nutritional discipline and honour your physical body, what you're going to do is you're going to notice that you're going to increase the life force within you, because the foods that you ingest will absorb and transfer energy. And so all food is essentially transferring of energy, and certain foods are low in energy and so certain foods are high in energy. But foods that are low in energy in life force, things like wheat, caffeine, alcohol, excess salt, sugar, refined products. And foods that are high in energy are things like fruits, veggies, nuts and seeds. And obviously your body needs proteins to replenish your muscles. So to become your own healer and balance your energy, it means that you have to start adopting a diet which is full of higher frequency fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds. And this means you have to have a higher alkali diet, because a higher alkali diet means you'll reduce inflammation. And inflammation, it means to inflame from within. So certain foods that are highly acidic cause inflammation. Negative thinking causes inflammation. Stress causes inflammation. And anytime you're having a high alkali diet, it means you're bringing your body back into balance, reducing inflammation. So certain things that I do in my nutritional discipline is that I eat 80% whole foods and 20% whatever I want. This allows the contrast and allows me flexibility. But that 80% is really high in alkali. So I have things like liquid greens, lots of smoothies, a smoothie at breakfast every single day. I have lemon water first thing in the morning. I have a supplement that I use which is molecular hydrogen, which allows me to reduce a lot of inflammation in the body, called Mega Hydro. I have that every day. Lots of alkali in my body. Plus I do fasts and cleanses in order to keep my body extremely well. This nutritional discipline will allow more life force, and I've noticed that when you are eating really well, your body gives you signals through good feelings. It gives you signals of higher energy. It gives you signals of feeling clear-headed. It gives you signals of easy digestion and assimilation. And it just gives you plenty of good energy, good skin, good hair. Because most problems can be reversed because lots of people have eaten thousands of meals with high acidity in them. But when you start bringing in more alkali into your diet, you're going to realize your body will over time begin to heal itself naturally. So learning about what to eat, learning about what foods to ingest, what's good for your body is so important to allowing more life force. And the more alkali you have, the less pains and aches you'll experience in your body as well. So once you've got your diet in check and you're eating really well and you're taking good care of your physical form as well, next discipline comes along, and that is your emotional discipline. So the emotional discipline is the hardest one. This could be a book, this could be a podcast, and I'm sure I've done several ones already. This is a big topic, but I'm going to be as brief as I can here so that you can really understand how you can increase your life force with this particular discipline. When you begin to take care of the body and you take care of your nutrition and your diet, what's going to happen is this one is going to be a little bit more easier to manage. However, it doesn't come without a few tricks, because the mind always wants to play games on you and it wants to challenge you. And just when you think you've got your health under control, life will throw you a curveball just to know, are you in control of your mind? Because when you master your body, when you master your diet, meaning you're making good choices, the next one is, how are you at making good choices with your mind and your responses to life? Because it's very easy to react, but it's very difficult to respond, because response requires consciousness. And the reason why you need to learn how to manage your mind is because it's usually always wanting to keep you small and it's wanting to keep you safe. But unless you learn to balance your energies and learn how to be bigger than any challenge, then what's going to happen is you'll always be a slave to the mind, a slave to the monkey mind. So spending time alone every single day is going to be really powerful for you to be able to learn how to master and control your emotional discipline. So sitting in silence every day, hanging out and communing in nature every day. Best time is usually always first thing in the morning before you've got going for the day. And also at night is really good to just spend a little alone time. 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening can work wonders. But you've got to work with your time frame, but you've got to add this discipline into your life, because if you're really adamant about increasing your energy, feeling fulfilled, feeling satisfied, because you've been so dissatisfied in the past, or you're feeling a lack of energy, or you're feeling a lack of fulfillment, maybe you've already succeeded externally in other people's eyes, but you're feeling flat on the inside, it means you need to master these areas. And you won't ever truly be fulfilled until you're mastering these areas. So meditation is going to be really powerful for you. Taking a walk outside of nature is going to quiet the mind, to reset your energy, reset your balance, so you can see what thoughts are coming up and you can just observe them and be non-attached. And at the heart of this emotional discipline is that you're able to choose to feel good rather than have the need to always be right. Choose to let other people win even when you know you might be right, because the ego wants to be right, and each time you push against, you're increasing the ego. And whilst the ego isn't a bad thing, it's got a bad rap. What you're doing is you don't want to feed that. You want to feed the flow. You want to feed the emotional mastery, the emotional balance. So sometimes it's good to win, but sometimes it's also to lose gracefully and just allow yourself to just say, I'd rather feel good than be right, but keep that to yourself. And when you're able to choose to want to feel good instead of having the need to always be right, you'll start to be mastering this emotional discipline. Because each time you're provoked, or each time someone's pushing you, are you riled up and want to push back, or can you just let it go? And the faster you're able to let things go, the quicker you'll master this emotional discipline. And here are just a few ways to bring a little bit more balance to emotions when they start falling off the center. Number one, you can have a mantra such as, I am where I am and it's okay. What you're doing with this mantra is just accepting what is, because when you accept what is, you're not pushing against. So this is a really important part of being able to find peace in challenging circumstances. Number 2, I always have this empowering question running through my mind every single day, but particularly as I fall asleep. Why is everything always working out for me? Why is everything always working out for me? Each time you say this, you're setting your subconscious mind a task. And when you're asking and inputting good questions, you're going to get good answers. So when you ask bad questions, such as, why is this always happening to me? What you're actually doing is you're going to get more of that. So if you want to change what comes to you, change the questions. So you're caught in this loop until you begin to interrupt that pattern, and questions are the fastest way to interrupt. Another way to maintain a sense of emotional equilibrium is deeper breathing, 4x4 breathing. So you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, and start the round again. It's called box breathing. That's really powerful. Another one that I use is breathe in for 3 and exhale for 5. This is very soothing, very relaxing. This helps you soothe your nervous system, this deep breathing. Also, the tongue on the roof of your mouth creates this biological circuit which relaxes your nervous system. This is very soothing. Also, practicing things like gratitude and practicing radical forgiveness will relax your nervous system, bringing your emotions into balance. So you could ask yourself, who do I need to forgive today? And here's a little simple process you can do is close your eyes, think of that person, put your hand on your heart, and just say to them quietly in your mind's eye, I forgive you and I forgive myself. I forgive you and I forgive myself. And imagine there's a white cord attached from their heart to your heart, and you just get a pair of scissors and you cut it and let them go, and just see their physical form in your mind's eye drift backwards, as if they're in a swimming pool, drifting back and away from you. Just go, I let you go, I forgive you, I let you go, I forgive you, I let you go, I forgive you. Forgiveness has actually increased many athletes' abilities to perform even better because they're not holding on to any emotional baggage. And if you really want to experience more life force, then you've got to forgive everyone and yourself for any past doings that you are currently holding on to, because anything you're holding on to is actually weighing you down. And so this simple cord cutting technique that you can do in your mind's eye can give you great peace. I remember writing a letter to someone that I never sent of forgiveness. And I even got an email back from that person that I hadn't spoken to in years the next day, and I thought it was uncanny how that happened. But remember, life force will show you ways that are beyond what you're doing right now when you increase your energy. And this seems absolutely remarkable. But now this seems like an absolute norm for me, because I noticed some of the most incredible things happen to me that didn't used to happen because I wasn't aware of them, because my life force speed was slower than it is now. So when your life force speed gets faster, meaning you've got a faster connection to all that is, you're able to understand and see things performing and in such incredible ways. Normal people would see it as a miracle. Normal people would see it as strange. But to you, it will seem normal because this will happen more and more. And it will feel like you've got more magic, you feel like you've got more connection, you feel like you're more powerful than ever before. And that's because your life force is increasing, and emotional discipline is one that's probably the most difficult, but one of the most rewarding. And last but not least is the discipline of balance. And this discipline is about you stepping up into greater awareness. And as you move into having greater awareness, it means that you're living in the world, but you're not of the world. It means that you have a different perspective. You've got a different vantage point than everybody else because your energy is in a different place. This is when life becomes quite fun, because you're like living in a game. It feels like life's always a game. And whilst there are moments of seriousness, you can always find something to giggle about. And each time you can find the lighter side of any challenge, you begin to diffuse its hold on you. You begin to diffuse its attachment on you, and this is when you become really powerful. And so when you're living at higher levels of energy, it means that you've understood and grown in awareness that we're all connected and we're all affecting one another in some way or another. Now, to allow greater life force through you, is to be able to keep all your life in balance. So when you're able to incorporate being able to monitor the company you keep, monitor where you're giving your attention, perhaps going on a news diet, incorporating more plain, beautiful activities in your life, and understanding the difference between when you need to rest and when you need to take action. When you're in balance and you're truly in balance, what you know is you're going to get inner promptings, you're going to get inner guidance, you're going to get a communication within which tell you to take some sort of inspired action in this moment. And whilst that might not always be present, the more you're in balance, the more you're going to want to take these inspired and intuitive nudges that come from within. And I just want to tell you a little story that happened to me a little while ago. And I used to think to myself, how did this actually happen? When I witnessed this in my own experience, I was in Japan with a friend, and I went to a monastery in the top of this mountain, at the top of this hill. My friend said, "Oh, you'll really like this, it's really beautiful," after we'd been surfing. And you had to walk up all these steps, and there was a forest either side, and at the top of this mountain was this beautiful hidden monastery. Not a very big monastery, just on one level, but around it surrounded by trees and waterfalls. And when I arrived, there was no one there except for one monk that sort of came out. And my Japanese friend was translating what this monk was saying to me. And he says, "I've got a gift for your friend." And Kaz looked at me and he said, "Well, do you know this guy?" I was like, "No, I don't know this guy." And he said to me, he goes, "You will be able to understand what this message means, and this message is for you." So in this gift that the monk had given me, it had these 3 different symbols, and my friend translated them from Japanese into English, and they said, "Empty vessel, no mind." And the monk had said to my friend, translating, said, he knows what this means. And I did know what that meant, which was empty vessel, no mind, which is when we become empty vessels with no mind, meaning no thought, we're able to allow this powerful life force through us. And now I know why I'm able to explain this a little bit more clearly, because when you are able to quiet the mind, you're able to allow this life force to flow through you. And that monk had been operating at an even higher level than I had, but I'd been close enough in energy because I'd been spending time surfing and having fun by the ocean in a natural environment. My energy was high enough for him to be able to reach me to pass on the message. And we stayed at that monastery for about an hour, and there was 3 people there, one of which was that monk, and that was the only conversation we had. And my friend and I walked down from that mountaintop absolutely perplexed and stunned by what just happened. But now I understand from that experience years later that the energy that the monk was trying to share with me was what I'm sharing with you now. So if any of this makes any sense, it's because when you allow more life force, you're able to perceive life at a different level. And we're all connected, and we're all here to share messages from one another so that we grow in awareness and grow in energy and grow in vitality, because energy is the currency we all seek. And when you're expressing yourself truly and utterly and clearly, it's because you've got high energy, you've got balance, you've got physical discipline, you've got mental discipline, you've got nutritional discipline, and all your life just seems in good order. And it was all because you took the time to control and master each of these disciplines. It's not easy, and it's not for everybody, but when you choose it, you'll notice you'll have more energy and more life force, and things will work out magically for you in ways you can't even imagine, because you're operating at a different frequency, at a different level. And this is what is known as moving into the 5th dimension. So in short, this episode is all about creating trust from this benevolent force so that you can embody the God and Goddess within you, that divine energy, that strength, so you can share with others your gifts and special, unique talents in the world to make this world better. That's what this Earth game is all about. It's all about moving through each of the levels so that you can be the best and highest version of yourself. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope it's been enlightening. I hope it's inspired you in some kind of way to want to learn to master these 4 disciplines. If it has, I would love to hear from you. And so just find me on social media at any of my channels on Instagram, YouTube, wherever this is posted, and write any questions you have. I love hearing from you guys. And if you know somebody who would appreciate this, please share it with them so that they too can benefit from this message. And until the next time, I wish you a wonderful week ahead and green lights all the way.